Lee, an important 3 points last Saturday to get things back on track. You obviously talked about how it wasn't the prettiest performance, but it's the points that matter, isn't it?
No, absolutely. At this stage of the season, every point's a prisoner, and I think getting the 3 points in what was potentially a sticky game, having seen Arbroath take 3 points over Dundee a week before, and I think people outside of Ayr would have probably looked at as an easy 3 points for Ayr United given the league standings. I thought it was a really, really tricky game given the pitch was sticky. We had quite a few changes, a little change of formation as well. Listen, 1-0, we'll take it. Good clean sheet.
Moving on to Arbroath this Saturday, you've spoken this week about Arbroath bringing in some flair players, if you like. It's going to be a different test altogether, isn't it? No,
I think the spine of their team's still that what was built on last season, and we've got to remember this time last year, virtually this time last year, we're going up against Arbroath, who were top of the league. So, and the nucleus of that group of players is still there. As with anything, listen, confidence is a massive thing, and I think the new players that Dick Campbell's brought in have given them a little bit of a spark, as you saw in the Dundee performance. Saw one last week, I get that, but they've certainly got the ability to come down here and take 3 points if we are not right at it.
You're slowly but surely starting to get more bodies back in the squad, which I'm guessing is a welcome relief after the last couple of months. No,
really, really good. I mean, just having Alex back last week was giving us a bit of balance. Jordan Houston got 45 minutes last night in a little friendly. Bangala's back from suspension, which is great. Dara's on the training pitch. Might be a game too early for Dara. And Frankie's heading in the right direction, but again, still got a week or two with Frankie before we see him back on the training ground.
Now, you were talking about players who are still injured then. What do you think about the pool as you take it into the game on Saturday? What is the strength in it?
Of our group?
Yes.
I just think it's the togetherness that we've built throughout the season, and they've got a little bit of belief back. That was an important 3 points off the back of 2 defeats. And they've got the belief back, as I say, having the 1 or 2 bodies back as well has given the group a lift. And 1 or 2 of the lads that have been out for a while are now almost getting back to where they were before, up to speed. This wee guy on my left-hand side, one of them. So, listen, when you've taken an injury and you're out for a while, it's not just a case of, oh, he's fit now, he's back in training. You often need 2 or 3 games under your belt, whether it's reserve or friendlies. You often need a couple of weeks training under your belt to get right back to where you were. And I think, as I say, because he's sitting next to me, Fraser's at that point now where he is back up to exactly where he was in pre-season. And I'm sure he'll be frustrated at the length of time it's taken him to get there, but it's a big bonus to have him back as well. So
let's go to Fraser. Fraser, the feeling of getting back on that pitch in a competitive match there on Saturday must have been a great boost to you, but you also came on and was it 2 goals last night in a reserve match?
Yeah, 2 goals last night played Bonnet and Juniors with the reserves last night. It was just good to get minutes again. It's not nice being out injured for a longer period of time. It's something you can't dwell on, just got to go on and make sure when you come back you're ready and you're stronger and ready to go.
So you're really up for it for the games coming up like Saturday?
Aye, up for it, ready to go.
So you're going to nudge this man beside you and tell him, yeah, I'm in the team?
I can't quite do that, but can hopefully show me my training hard and that's it, stuff like that.
You'll have to push Dippo, Sam and Marky out the road first as well. So, it's good to have the competition back. We're up there. And as I say, Fraser will be the first to admit, when he first came back, he probably had a bit of catching up to do, but he's back up there now and he puts pressure on the other 3 lads that are involved in that similar sort of position.
Fraser, mentally, how difficult has it been for you dealing with this injury? Because I'm guessing this is the first, proper injury you've really had to deal with in your career so far.
It was tough. I mean, the kind of worst part about it was at the start when the boys are going down to training pitch and you're left at Somerset yourself and you're kind of just having, at the start I couldn't even do gym work. It was just because I couldn't quite bend my knee at the start, so it was tough. But once I got movement back in my knee and I could manage to do gym work and strengthen it, it got better. But at the start it was tough, yeah.
And coming back into the team now, I mean, obviously Dippo's been going great guns, but you must have a real, desire to push him all the way.
That's it. That's all I can do. Just really train hard, and then when the reserve games come, chip in with goals and stuff like that.
Chloe, the women's team had their Scottish Cup game on Sunday, and you were playing Morton, who you've played already a couple of times this season. Extra time and penalties. Can you tell us a bit about the game?
Yeah, so it was a good game, like you mentioned. We've played them in recent weeks, just a couple of weeks prior to a wee break there, and we won, so we were going into it like quite confident that we had that one under our belt. But yeah, it was a great game, and they definitely gave us a fight and a battle the full game. Went all the way to full time, then extra time, and then obviously penalties at the end as well. So yeah, it was some fight, but we managed to get the win at the end of it.
And you've got a home tie against Glasgow Girls in the last 16. How are you feeling about that game, especially? It's obviously a team a few leagues above you.
Yeah, so it is good that we're playing at home. We obviously know the pitch very well now. We get quite a good support now at our games at home, so that'll definitely help us. But yeah, like you said, they're a couple of leagues above, so it will be a massive challenge, but we are ready for it. We will be training hard right up to it, and you never know what's going to happen on the day. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes, but we'll just play our game and then give them a good fight like we did against Morton. So yeah, we're all excited for it, but it will be a battle.
It was a remarkable victory, to be quite honest. Beginning of the season, I think that was first game in the league. They hammered you, and you got one back on. Got one.
Always a positive 1 hour Callum.
You got back on them later on. I think a 2-0 victory later on. But this game was a really big game. Now, you hadn't been playing for quite a while, the team. What was it like just pulling out? Were you fully fit? Did you feel it was a tough game to get through?
Yeah, we still kind of trained throughout. Obviously, we do our own thing out with like the set football training and stuff as well. So everyone was going into it pretty fit. Obviously, the festivities and stuff doesn't massively help, but yeah, we went into it and we knew like we just had to play our own game, like play our passing game, communicate properly, and that's exactly what we did. And yeah, I think we've now redeemed ourselves from that first game of the season where they did hammer us, like you said. It's been a sticky one for us all since that happened, so getting 2 wins against them in recent weeks has been massive, so yeah.
I think anyone watching that game would come out thinking incredible goals during that game as well. And your team shows a really attacking attempt. It's not a team that will sit back, you go for goals. Yeah, no, definitely. We knew we had to score goals, especially when they just kept getting the goals back against us as well. We knew we had to pull something out the bag, and thankfully in the later stages extra time, Doc pulled one out the bag like she always does. So yeah, taking it to penalties was good. But yeah, we are a very attacking team. We do like to push forward as much as we can. We like to press on the front foot. So yeah, we obviously got the result from doing that on Sunday. What's your next game?
Livingston away on Sunday coming.
And Chloe, you mentioned the support that you're starting to get at home games. Do you feel there's a bit of momentum now building behind the women's team in general and the kind of profile that you're building up?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was great to see so many people coming to the game and like sort of big names within the club and stuff like that. So yeah, it does massively help us, like seeing that and then hearing everyone like sort of supporting us. We're also like getting kind of bigger on Twitter and stuff, and like with the men's side and things. So it definitely all helps build that momentum, and we've won our past 4 or 5 games. So it just shows what happens when we do have that support behind us.